Hello, Al pals. This is Big Al. Welcome to Big Al Presents Films with Friends, the film from 1975, released June 20th. Sound familiar? That's right. 50 years ago today, Jaws was unleashed upon America, frightening generations to come to make them scared to go into the water. And I was one of those young little kids that was afraid to get into the water because I lived on the water at the time. So, yeah, it was a big thing. But that is not the only reason we're here. Yes, we're going to watch Jaws tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun. But today is a very special day because 2 years to the day before Jaws came out, deleted scenes came out. Happy birthday, deleted scenes. How are you doing, my friend? Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You there?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, in here.
How are you doing, sir?
Now, and what are you people doing in my room? Oh,
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Joining us tonight, of course, also is Outlaw Bill, as you can see there, with a shocked look on Roy Scheider's face. I've sent the link to a few other people. We'll see if they pop in. I know one said he'll be late. One Agent Boomer couldn't make it, but I'm hoping that Troy and Annette pop in. Maybe they said sure, okay. So maybe they'll pop in at least to say happy birthday to deleted scenes. So you got a big weekend ahead of you, deleted, for your birthday?
Of sorts. I am going to be streaming my big birthday bash tomorrow. So starting tonight, I'm going to start dropping the link to some people to see who can stop by. That's probably going to be at around 6:30 Eastern.
Awesome.
And aside from that, it's probably going to be a normal weekend unless something comes up I don't know about.
Yeah, when you get to a certain age, it's kind of, the next big one is going to be 6-0, which I hit a few weeks back. Which, that one hit you. When the older you get, it turns into the 5-year thing, and then when you hit about 40, it's kind of like the decade thing. So, yeah. But just thank you for being here on your birthday. Gonna watch this great film. 50 years to the day the Jaws was released. Any special memories deleted from Jaws specifically?
Jaws.
Seeing it in the movie theater or just like watching it for the first time?
I was probably a little bit young for it in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you'd have been 2 when it came out.
I would have been like 2. Yeah. So I first remember it being on kind of being advertised on television.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of my first kind of not quite knowing what it was, just knowing that it was a movie and it had a shark in it. And so I didn't see it fully until probably a few years later, probably just before the sequel came out.
Yeah, which was 78. I was 78. Yeah. What about you, Outlaw Bill? Do you remember the first time you saw Jaws?
Oh yeah. Well, we moved from California to Colorado, and they had this thing in like when you went to the drive-in, they would play double features. So they played this in whenever the Close Encounters came out. I think it was 78 or 77. Anyway,
late
they played this as a double feature at the drive-in. So
great double feature. You were telling me about that.
And I got to see this on the big screen in out of the cars, but it was great with a group of folks. And
if I had a drive-in and did
beverages
double
and
features,
great
that'd
food,
be a great one.
So it was awesome.
Yeah, the best one I ever did at drive-in, I told you guys, was the original Star Wars and then the classic War of the Worlds. That was a great double feature night, and I remember that a lot. But yeah, my thing, I remember seeing it in the movie theater. When that head pops out of the hole, scared the living crap out of me. And then every time I went to, and then for some reason kept going back. I saw it several times in the movie theater. And I'm 10. What my mother was thinking, I don't know, but she got me in. And but I remember hiding my eyes every time that scene would come and not looking back up until I heard the from Hooper. I counted. I was like, okay, it's safe now, and I can look back up. That was really the main scene that bugged me, was that scene. I've since gotten over it, of course, a long time ago, but definitely did scare the living bejesus out of me. For those who are going to watch along, I got a Cosby link at the top. Nowhere to really see it for quote unquote free. Hopefully most people will have a copy. This is one of those, films I think most people should have. If they don't, it is a great film to have in your library. Definitely one of my desert island films, if trilogies count as one, which is always the big thing. But it is, I know it's on Peacock. It just started streaming on Peacock. They got the rights to it for the 50th anniversary. I think there's going to be a limited release next month back in theaters, and I'm sure it's going to be on TV all weekend. I know it's on AMC tomorrow night, I think at 6. But we're going to watch it here tonight on Cosby for free. It's But if you guys ready to roll?
Yeah, we're good. Just like we're gonna need a bigger boat, we might need a bigger panel.
We might. No, well, we got a fine panel. I was worried we were going to have too many people floating around, actually. But, like I say, if anybody pops in later, that's great. But and if they do, please let me know, because I don't really see the StreamYard. Load my video file. Go into my videos. Jaws, 1975, 1080, Blu-ray rip. And, okay, and I'm at the 3-second mark, and if anybody, like I said, is watching later, 3-second mark, and 3, 2, 1, go. Universal logo. I always love that sound. And of course, the most identifiable aspect of this film, the theme, which was so simple. I mean, the great John Williams just dun, 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 dun. Jaws. Co-starring Lorraine Gray.
Yeah,
I always want to say Gray, and it's Gary. I know that.
The theme song is as legendary as this film is. You know it, Jaws. You know it. It's about that giant fish.
Yeah. Of course, Susan McElhenney, who sadly passed away last year, about a little over a year ago. No longer with us.
And there will be a special appearance by Peter Benchley himself later on in the film.
Yep. And Slasher Fred mentioning the Shark Big Invisible in the first half of the movie, similar to the Child's Fear of the Dark. Spielberg got lucky that fish didn't work, because it adds something to the movie You really don't see that. You don't really see it clearly.
Yeah, the less you see, the more terrorizing it actually is.
Which, of course, goes with a shark because you cannot see that little sucker or big sucker or whatever until you feel it, and then you still don't see it. Ah, Chrissy. Everybody loves a girl who'll skinny dip on the first date.
Jaws was inspired by true happenings that happened in New Jersey, where swimmers were in the river swimming, but it wasn't a great white shark. It was a
bull shark.
Bull shark.
Bull sharks
can swim.
Nasty little critters.
Yeah, and they just feed on anything and everything they can get their mouths on.
Yeah, and the thing is, everybody's like, well, why are they doing it in the river? Bull sharks could go in salt and fresh water, and a lot of sharks cannot do that. But a bull shark is, they're nasty. In fact, that's the shark that's in the movie Fear Below that I watched from Australia last week. I think I've got a review up on it. It was a bull shark, and he was a nasty little sucker too.
This is such a great opening sequence. I love how it's at night and the moonlight just bounces off the water.
Beautifully shot. Yeah. The reflections. Yeah, it's beautifully shot. Hello. Whoop, whoop.
I think that fish is getting fresh with you. Kurt and Spielberg got to knock this spoof his own thing in 1941. Altogether, still terrorizing.
This version of From Here to Eternity is weird. Well, she just went from here to eternity. But I mean, you think he's laying there on the beach? I mean, that's a beautiful place to be laying if if you ignore the fact that the cute girl's getting eaten.
Well, that's the thing about sharks. They do feed at night and in very murky water, usually.
Tim asking John Williams, was this before or after he did Daddy-O? Yeah, of course. Like about 20 years after. Yeah.
The kids are in the yard, not from the car.
Car. I like that old ashtray that was sitting there a few seconds ago.
And you will grow up to become Dennis Quaid. And then Lance Guest for some reason.
Well, the sequel films are notorious, like National Lampoons. They always change the cast of the children.
Yeah.
I remember the third one had Luke Gossett Jr.
Yep.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
It also had who's the British guy? Oh, can't think of his name. Simon McCorkindale. Simon McCorkindale. Yeah, Manimal.
And he wound up on a show called Casualty on on the BBC. It's like kind of like the British version of VR, but they went on longer.
Oh. Always like that truck or whatever it is. It's a truck, but it's also
It's a truck with the top
with the
cut
top
off.
off. Yeah, it's like it's got the top down, which is kind of cool.
I mean,
And,
you're in an island town that's kind of sensible in a way.
And
Lady
hello
Miss.
to Lady Miss.
Look
Hello.
Emoji.
I love how that said 50th annual regatta, and it's the 50th anniversary. It's so perfect.
I did forget to say hi to everybody. Tim, FKHC 2005, Joshua V. Thank you for joining in. Crow Slasher Fred, like I said, Lady Mist.
And share this stream out like I did. I shared it out on Facebook
Yes,
and on X. So do the same.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'd be upset if I saw what he saw too.
Of course, Jeffrey Kramer as Hendrix, the deputy, is also in the sequel.
Yep.
And Santa Claus, the movie, and a lot of television. There's actually an episode of Barney Miller that he's in, where he's already been arrested, so he's in the cell the entire episode, right? And there's this whole subplot about this. They wind up with like this pile of money, and some of the money goes missing, and the cops get accused, and it finally all works out as it does.
Mm.
And,
I like
he
that.
Says, at the end, he says, "Is that really how much is there?" Well, yes. He says, "Stick them up," but you're already under arrest. I don't care. Stick them up. I thought it was funny. Anyway.
You're karateing the picket fences. I love that. Well, I like that one shot they had of him a few minutes ago when he looks out over the sea.
See, it's not a boating accident. It just said right there.
Yeah, it's a shark attack until the mayor gets involved.
Mayor Plastics over here.
I love the
Wrong
Jaws
movie.
pinball machine. Looks cool.
Yeah.
They got a Lego set for Jaws. That's cool.
Yep.
Okay.
They got
Am I the only one who's
everything. Right now, Jaws is like a big thing right now. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah. I'd like to get me on that Nico placed thing of Jaws of the orca and the shark.
Oh yeah. Polly did
the printing.
Now, the book, from what I understand, is quite different in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
There's actually a subplot that gets. There's actually a couple of subplots to get cut out.
Yeah, with Hooper especially.
Yeah, and because
I'm glad they did. because I think the simpler they kept it, the more timely it is.
Did you know in the film Jaws or Piranha 3D, they had he was in that beginning sequence where he's fishing and he gets done in by the piranha. I thought that was funny. They don't really say who he says, but you know they're hinting that he's the character from Jaws.
Okay, I think I'm back. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
I can hear you.
Well, welcome back.
Okay.
You having
Sorry.
connectivity issues tonight?
I had a power issue there. I think I'm good.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
I love
I
how
like
the
medical
politicians trying
Yeah.
to say that it was a boating accident.
Well,
Yeah.
like his.
that is one cool suit, though, man.
It certainly is a loud suit.
Yep. I don't know about that tie with it, though.
I like that guy's reaction.
Poor Pippin. Now, Alex Kittner. One of my favorite weird little stories is he owns like a restaurant on the island, and the actress who plays his mother showed up one day, like years and years and years after filming, and they had an Alex Kittner sandwich on the menu, and she remarked to one of the people that worked there, "Oh yeah, I played the mother in the film." And he's like, "Oh, you did? Wait, one here." And they went and got him because he owned the place, the kid, and they kind of had a little reunion right there.
Oh, nice.
I gotta find out what's in an Alex Kittner sandwich.
I'm guessing a tomato.
Tuna fish.
Probably like a BLT.
Now they really take a chance here, because who are the two characters that you're not allowed to kill? The kid or the dog? This movie takes them both out at the same time.
Yeah. Pepe. I love when the dog say Pepe.
Okay.
It's a ciabatta bread, olive oil, balsamic vinegar, garlic, Dijon mustards, baby spinach, marinated artichoke hearts, roasted red peppers, prosciutto, basil, mozzarella, and red onion. Jeffrey Voorhees, who played Alex Kittner, created the sandwich. Very fancy sandwich. It's at the Wharf Pub. There's also a burger called the Alex Kittner burger. I guess he is an easy person to name a sandwich after, because there he is eating.
Mm-hmm. And basically, he gets killed by the idiots who are in part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, because they're splashing around. That attracts the shark. And of course, Bad Hat Harry was Bryan Singer's production company.
Yep, that's one Bad Hat Harry.
Well, I don't think that dog made it, because he's calling for his dog there deleted.
And of course, one of the funnest callbacks. Did you ever see the Meg?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the little dog at the end is named Pippin, which I think was great. But that dog survives.
Yeah, so dog's a little shishu.
And there he goes.
Ugh. Love that camera shot.
And right focus. Yes, Sean, we're doing it, Sean. Now they all saw that.
Yeah.
And then like they all deny it later.
Well, no, at this point they can't deny it. It's a matter of well, they get someone to catch it next.
And look at the flotation device that he was on.
$3,000. That was quite a bit back then.
Yeah. Oh, just the bite marks on it. I mean, you got to figure it was a big fish filled with teeth.
Yeah, definitely a clue to the bite radius. Let's go roll with the grocery ads. So this is the kind of mindset that gets people killed. Making that executive decision.
That'll grab their attention.
And hello to JPRPH1.
Hey, JPRPH1.
Find him for 3. I'll catch him. Can kill him. 10. Stephen King looks on.
Yeah, Back to the Future 2 showing Jaws 19.
Shark still looks fake.
like I said, the effective thing about not showing it so much early, and then really you don't really see the shark a ton. It is, fake or not, it's the sense of dread that it instills.
This film is so many favorite to so many people. I know the makeup artist Greg Nicotero, who's directed a lot of episodes of The Walking Dead. This is one movie he would love to make, and I would like remake. To see him and being the makeup artist, Greg Nicotero do Jaws and the makeup and that. I can only imagine how cool that might be.
I think the only thing, I don't think they should redo the film, but they could take a shot at the novel again. It would change the entire narrative and just promote it as such. Because the novel was a huge hit the previous year. It was like it was 74's biggest. I don't know if it was the biggest book, but it was like the big summer read that year.
The parents gave the child a day sailing boat. Not really meant for open ocean sailing. More or less lake sailing.
Yeah.
And hello to Kyle Cullen.
Hey, Kyle. Like I say, anybody who's joining us late, the Cosby link is at the top.
Hey, Kyle.
We are.
If you're coming, if you can't watch it here, it's on Peacock. If you don't have your own copy,
we are 24 minutes 35 seconds into the movie, and we're up to the dock.
I always get upset at this scene because they waste that big old piece of roast. You should have put that sucker on a smoker and let it smoke for a day or so. Get yourself a nice brisket. Man, I like to have a nice piece of brisket. Like I said, I just replaced my toaster oven air fryer combo a couple weeks ago. I realized the old one that I had never did work right. This one works so well. Think about getting myself a nice little small piece of what do they call it? It's like the pork it's not pork butt, but it's pork belly. Pork belly. That's what it is. I used to love reading shark attack books. I was into like disasters and things when I was a kid. Hindenburg, Titanic, shark attacks. Do. Whoop. Mm-hmm. I like it. Run. It's a 4/4 string ostinato in D minor.
Can we go home now?
I love that. Now, that guy right there is like the inspiration for Quint, from what I've heard. And they gave him that little cameo.
Right, Tim. I need to change my underwear.
And of course, the introduction of Hooper, Richard Dreyfuss. In the book, Hooper is from the island originally. He's kind of this. In the book, he's kind of like this snooty rich kid. You're not supposed to like him.
Yeah.
One thing that really troubled my young mind for years is that he shows up on the island at the docks, on the docks, and yet then he has this big old boat. It's like, wait a minute. Like, what the heck? My brain's trying to work it.
Yeah.
How did he show up there, and where's his big old boat that he has?
Maybe it's like offshore and he used a little dinghy to get to shore. Which a lot of yachts
okay,
do.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, yachts will have like the little small boat to go to shore.
And Slasher Fred saying, in the book, it is revealed the mayor is pressured to keep the beaches open by the mafia. Yeah, there are a lot of subplots from the book that are not in the film.
Yeah.
Like I said, Hooper's backstory is different. The mafia stuff is gone. The whole love triangle, yeah, is gone. Which I'm glad about, because you this version of Hooper, you want to like him. In the book, you're kind of hoping he dies. Well, in the book, he gets to the point where he is openly trying to get Brody killed, so that he can get the wife. And of course, you get the Ben Gardner introduction here.
Yep. Much better screen time here than he has later.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to realize that's who it was.
Yeah.
I never knew that was the same character as we see later.
Mm-hmm. 3,000 divided 4 ways is how much? Not enough to be out here in the middle of this. Yeah, here she is, and she's in this little box, and he's just like,
yeah,
okay,
okay,
yeah.
Even the computer knew that it was no boat accident. It said that it was a shark attack. Using them Latin names of sharks.
World's easiest autopsy.
It wasn't Jack the Ripper.
Dakota Fanning looks on.
Poor little shark.
Well, that's the thing. The movie did make people fear the ocean so much that they actually did go on major hunting of sharks, which is on all necessary wrong because the oceans need sharks.
Yes, they do.
You know,
just like we need bees. People don't like bees, but
remember, when we go into the ocean and we swim in the ocean, we are the intruders. That's their natural habitat.
Yeah.
You know.
Now here's the thing that's interesting, right? So there's almost this throwaway line, right? Did Ben Gardner get this? And no, he didn't get it. That's why he goes back out later. He knew this wasn't the shark.
Yeah. What?
He does seem so goofy when he says that line.
Well, he sounded like a gay man, and then he jumps into this, non like masculine man.
Ooh.
Thing is, I come from a family of watermen, so I'm so used to like these kind of guys. It's like these are my uncles. And my grandfather, he was a Mayor's seeing this guy's going to be trouble.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to compare this to Jurassic Park, he is basically the Ian Malcolm character of the movie.
Yeah, Tim, Chesapeake Bay fisherman. As you like on the Potomac side, Potomac River and Breton Bay, St. Clements Bay areas. Crabbing and fishing and I love this scene. It's so powerful.
It's a raw deal that he gets the sole blame. I mean, the politicians above him are even more to blame because he wanted to, right? He wanted to close the beaches, but the politicians and the
I think
townspeople
if
wouldn't let him.
I think if he pressed it, he would have at least gotten the fact that they could have warned the people that would go to the beach. Say, we had this incident. I'd say, mayor wants the beaches open. He's got the last word. It would put it right on him, but that's not out there.
From a political stand, understanding that the whole town and the whole place thrives on tourism, which mostly happens in the summer.
Because even the mayor says, she's wrong, and he goes, nope, she's right. He's supposed to protect people, and he didn't protect them.
Because I imagine in the winter, them waters are way too damn cold for anybody to go swimming in. Or, we're talking about the Atlantic Ocean here.
Yeah, I mean, they'd still be out fishing, though.
Yeah.
Amity may be a mainly summer town, but they do have a fishing population. I love this little. It's such a great little bonding scene. Wants to be like Daddy.
I was in the pool. He's shrieking. Yes, Tim.
That's so sweet.
This French Connection sequel is not what I was expecting.
So when does he start dancing?
Yeah. Yeah, I love when that scene in the Life of Chuck, where he and the grandmother start watching all the movies. They get to all that jazz, and she covers his eyes. Oh no! Don't look. Hey, look, it's Chief Brody. He's dancing, and then there's a little bit more to it than that. I mean, think about it. Okay, Cloudy gets shot. He decides he wants to get out of New York. So he goes to this, quiet little island, and then the shark shows up. So why not?
No, a shark was caught, not the shark.
I'd let that be.
Nope. No, I want to drink it.
Yeah. Okay.
One of those little aerators, don't need to worry about it breathing.
You kind of want to see that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, the Aurora.
Be kind of like
Yeah.
be kind of like a Life Aquatic kind of thing,
Drowning.
Yeah. Hey, they could have called it Rogue. Of course, they did that with the Crocodile movie.
Oh yeah. Is Rogue the one when he traps them on the traps the people on the island? Or is that
Yeah.
Blackwater?
Well,
I get them confused.
I never saw Blackwater, so I can't speak to that. But Rogue was the Australian movie.
Yeah. Well, I think Blackwater is too.
Oh well, okay, that doesn't help. Yeah, they do get trapped on an island in Rogue. Rogue was the one that has Rhoda Mitchell in it, and
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Vaughn
Yeah.
Wales, the Wolf Creek guys in it, playing a completely different kind of character. Sam Worthington. Blackwater I didn't see. I need to maybe find that one and give it a look. 007 on the
Oh yeah, did he a car, did he?
The Louisiana license plate.
I like that you can get reproductions of that license plate.
Mm-hmm.
I bought Fan Man, a reproduction of the license plate that was on the car Michael Myers drove into Haddonfield.
Oh, nice.
That's like just something weird. I'm like, I know he doesn't have that.
It's like Louisiana plate. Somebody probably threw it into the water. I go, what were you up to?
Because that's not an old plate. It says 72 on it. I was like, that's not an old plate for this time. I love their banter. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Now his boat, the Aurora, it's about a 25-footer. Well, basically floating laboratory.
Hmm. Slasher Fred says in the scene where Brody and Matt find Ben Gardner's boat abandoned, which has a hole torn in it, and Hooper investigates. It makes me feel like makes me think of Scooby Doo. Yeah, I guess it kind of does. At this point,
I like the fact, hey, you want a pretzel? Yeah. Always when he does that, I was like, man, I would like to have a pretzel right now. Find a guy that rich, you're like, do you need a friend? Or a pet? I'll be your pet.
Geiger counter, seismograph, food for 5 years. No, sorry. Sorry. Wrong movie.
Yep.
And they're making another Tremors film with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Have to wait and see. I'll give anything a chance. As most people who know me know.
Granted, but I wish they had done it while they still had Fred Ward.
True. Yeah.
It would have been nice to have them both back. Just bring everybody back. Bring Reba McEntire back. I don't care. You just get the gang.
What's her name? Finn Carter, the girl.
Well, no, she's
hasn't aged well. Well, she had some issues.
She's and still has them, unfortunately, from what I've heard.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Now, see, this was a whole adventure we never get to see. Ben Gardner and the shark.
Yeah.
What I find interesting, how is that boat still afloat in the ocean?
Yeah. Good point.
Like, why hasn't it sunk all the way to the bottom? So,
well, it depends on what it's got inside too. You see some barrels or something. Maybe it has some.
And that boat's only about a 15 foot. Again, not a boat meant for long journeys on the sea.
No, that's a fishing boat.
Yeah.
Go out in the day, come back for dinner. Also, you said why did it sink? Well, it's a lighter boat. It's not a lot to it. It's made of wood, so it's kind of buoyant anyway. It may not have enough heft in it to really go down. Ah! Childhood trauma.
How is this eye out?
Yeah, drop.
That's what I could never figure out.
They do what?
Drop the tooth.
Yeah. I'd be dropping more than a tooth. You're dropping a few pounds of feces in my shorts.
And not only that, it will do this 4 times.
This governor might have inspired the governor of LA. just kidding. I couldn't resist that joke.
Yeah.
You can see the gears in his head spinning. Plausible deniability.
Yeah. Bite you in the ass.
He ain't getting in the water.
Yeah, Tim, there was this great episode on one of the Shark Weeks where a shark literally took a dump. We're in the shark cage. It was funny, but yeah.
You gotta go, huh?
Yeah.
I like that lighthouse in the back. It'd be cool to live into something like that. Love that big rock.
And here comes dinner. Lunch. Breakfast. 11th breakfast. Midnight snack. 11's. All right.
Dinner, supper. I like how the music's so happy.
They all have crew cuts.
Ooh, that's a nice old car. You know, there's a lot of old people in that island going, God damn it, every damn summer.
That's a hell of a view just from the office of that precinct with all you can see the ocean surrounded on all sides.
Killer Shark. I remember that game. I think I played that game a couple times as a kid.
I used to have a Jaws video game that was for the PlayStation 2. It was quite interesting.
Now, do you play as the shark? Because that would be fun.
Yeah, you play as a shark.
Dun, 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 dun. Peter
And
Benchley,
here's the cameo.
the author, the man who wrote the original novel. I love the look he gives his wife.
Yeah.
And then they both look out. I was like, oh no.
Up there?
It's like we've been sentenced to death.
Yeah. Children, come along. Have you ever played Titanic? Okay.
Titanic?
Look at she's looking in the water towards like with so much trepidation, like I really don't want to be in here.
It's just weird to think all those kids are like in their 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Titanic, the video game. Do I hit the iceberg? Do I not hit the iceberg?
I had the it wasn't a video game, but it was like an information disc and stuff. Information, all kinds of info, scenes from the movie. And you know there's no shark because there's no music.
I love Spielberg's direction on how they're telling these adults to panic. It did quite his job pretty well because they were pretty scared adults. Pretty believable.
Who said, "Hey, the water got warmer"?
Yeah. Why is this water warm? All of a sudden, it's like, don't you know?
I love it. He puts the kids off and steals the raft.
Yeah.
What a hero.
I can imagine Jet in Japan and like China where they're running. They're running from a shark. We run in where we live. We run from something called Godzilla. He made me do it.
I can't remember correctly. Were they were actually brothers, weren't they?
I don't know.
I don't know why I think that.
Probably they're wearing the same color swim trunks. Their mother shopped at the same store. There was a blue light special at Kmart.
Michael's in the pond. Chuck's in the pond.
You guys okay over there?
I'm doing it.
You guys okay over there?
Yes, Jonathan and Stephen Surly. They were brothers. That's the best shot you see of the shark so far.
Get out, brace. He bit it like clean off. It's just a flesh wound.
He just wanted some white meat, leaving the dark meat behind.
Yeah. Does anybody have a gun? Somebody's screaming in the background. Does anybody have a gun? They should have a gun. It's America. I'd be in shock too that my mom bought me swim trunks that look like a Christmas tree.
He knows what he's got to do.
Yes. America. Fuck yeah.
He's got a free ticket to be pampered for a few days. he's been not looking forward to this one.
Sir, this is the hospital.
Mhm.
Did you not see the no smoking signs posted?
Well, it's the 70s. Smoke
Yeah,
away.
I know. But I'm sure. I think hospitals were still no smoking. Tim, tell him you know about the hooker. Jeez,
Quit.
Brody, don't have a mangasm over all the shark teeth jaws.
Quit knows how to negotiate where the odds are in his favor. Like, I never noticed before, but he does drink it.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Well, this is the thing. You get to Quinn's shop and you see that he's been in the business of killing sharks for quite some while.
Well, he's got a reason.
Which is a very terrifying and all but real story, even though
Yes.
he might have been not actually on the ship, but
I mean, well, Quint was, but
yeah.
actually turns out to be the most important member of that crew.
Did you ever see the Mythbusters? They did a Mythbuster when
Yeah.
when they were trying to see if they could shoot the oxygen tank to see if it would blow up.
Try to blow it up.
Yeah, that and like if you were in the Jaws's mouth, could you? Was there a point on the shark where you can get him to stop, or you know, and they had to press the button that was the eye or the nose, something like that.
And also, could the shark go fast enough to break the boat?
Yeah, that was a great MythBusters episode.
To Boston. Oh, never more shall we see her again. I love Richard Dreyfuss' face during
Yeah.
that scene. That's the truth. Bad record for this vicinity.
Yeah, he's got a foul mouth, and she's just like, what a horrible man that guy is. Runs away. Run away.
Another great frame shot.
Yep.
Literally going into the mouth of the beast.
Leaving Martha's Vineyard behind. Ah, the orca.
Not only a boat in the movie, but a movie inspired by this movie.
What Brody is doing is chumming the waters.
Mhm.
Fish guts and blood and heads. This is great. The beer can, the styrofoam coffee mug cup.
Crush. How the hell a rocking chair got out in the water? I'll never know. Click, click, click. Every time I watch this scene, I always think of the Carol Burnett Jaws spoof they did with Harvey Korman playing Quint, and they had a shark in the toilet. So he's sitting there fishing in the toilet. I think it was Carol Burnett. That's how I remember it. I don't know if it's a Mandela effect or not. I just remember my grandfather and uncles having that kind of a reel. And I was used to the regular, like, little, put your finger down, cat, lift it up, cast thing. Whoop.
And we're off. And Holiday Age Boomer, thank you.
Hey, Jaboomer. Slash Fred saying, yeah, Orca is a very cult ripoff of Jaws as a revenge movie. Yes, it is. I'd like to see Robert Shaw's son's play he wrote, "The Shark is Broken," which is a stage play about behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. Heard about it. Haven't seen it, obviously.
Mhm.
Have to track that down. And that's his grandson in Artemis Fowl.
Another MythBusters subject they did. I love this. But
Of course, some of this was real. They did not get along in this. I mean, they made up later on, but
yeah, but you know,
Yeah.
it was a hard shoot. I mean, a lot of people
Yeah.
don't realize just how hard. Because, like they say, the shark never worked right.
no.
They finally got it enough shots in to put the film together. But I mean, you trapped on a boat like this with those three guys for Lord knows how many days filming. You might get a little sick of them too. And of course, they're never. I mean, they're never out of sight of the island in real
No.
life. They just shot from the other side. Camera always had the island behind it.
Of course, Richard Dreyfuss always has the story of, you could hear it through, had like the speakers up around the island. The shark is broken. The shark is broken. You would always hear that. And then one day, the shark is working. The boat is sinking. The boat is sinking. Of course, they have some crew people on the boat, and there was this. Oh, here we go.
The
I'll get
iconic
back to that.
scene.
Here we go. The classic scene.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Actually, you're going to need a bigger boat.
Yes. Yep.
What for? Why?
What for? Jane, stop this crazy thing. The barrels, which are a nice touch because you kind of get the idea of where it is and how big it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming right for us.
I love the music to this scene. Da, 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 da.
Ready on and get a bigger boat.
He just wants a bigger boat.
See, anyway, getting back to Richard Dreyfuss' story, there's the one day where it went from the shark is broken to the boat is sinking. So and Spielberg's all like, get the actors out of the boat. But there's like this 80-something-year-old sound guy who's having trouble because he's got all this equipment. This is, but Steven, this the sound guy. F him. Get out of the boat.
Oh, Joshua V said he saw the shark is broken.
Oh, well,
Reflects the situation with the three main actors.
my bad.
You got that beat. Or Demise.
He's
He has an appendix scar.
Yeah. And gunshot. Okay.
I can show him a few scars.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go.
That stopped him.
I did not know about this until this movie. Yeah.
A true story.
My dad said, yeah, so it was true.
There's actually a whole History Channel, former History Channel, documentary about the U.S. Indianapolis. They also did a Shark Week episode on the wreckage of that World War II sinking.
Shark Week is next month, I think.
Yeah.
And of course, a couple of films about it. Mission of the Shark with Stacy Keach, and there's one with Nicolas Cage as well.
No way. So wow, just in what, a little over a week, it's going to be the 80th anniversary.
I
of
wonder if you could
Indianapolis.
actually hear a whale at sea the way they depict this. I mean, I've heard recordings of whale song, mainly the humpback whale, but
It's usually underwater.
to be at sea, and I wonder if you would actually hear it on the surface the way the movie depicts it here. I've always was curious about that.
Where I may roam.
Where
I
men never
know
see our home.
Let me see. Computer, can you hear whale song while you're in a boat?
Thanks for the feedback.
I didn't give feedback. I don't know why. Bruce is pissed. Computer, can you hear whale song when you're on a boat?
Thanks for telling me.
Well, my computer's having issues today, it seems. Thanks for telling me. That's not what I said. I said the question. And say water is a hell of a bulletproof medium. I love this when you see the meteor. There it goes.
Yeah.
Completely 100% coincidence.
And there's another one.
Yep.
Same. Sometimes you can look in the nighttime sky and you could see meteorites coming, breaking up in the atmosphere.
Oh yeah, I remember once during a meteor shower, I was outside, trying to see some, and there was one that hit. You could see it breaking apart, and you could hear it, which freaked me out because I was like, that must have been close to be able to hear it like that.
I've only seen meteorites break up in the atmosphere. Never big explosions, but you can see the atmosphere burning them up as they enter our atmosphere.
Yeah.
They call it a shooting star, but it's actually meteorites, small rocks, size of baseballs and footballs. It would take a pretty big one the size of a car.
I would
that would make noise.
Used to live, we had a pretty decent night sky. And then my uncle next door puts up a big light high in the tree overhead because there'd been some people poking around late at night. So he had one that just was on all night. But sometimes during ow. I've had that happen to me. That hurts. Well, I'd have them turn it off like if I was outside looking for meteor showers or something. Time for Ahab mode.
Oh, Quint.
And JPRPH1, if you are still in the chat or still listening, I did get your message. Thank you.
Woohoo! Boom. Bruce
Oh,
not
that hurt.
happy. Hooper knows the answer. The engine is not doing too good smoking like that. That's such a creepy shot.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh. Because as long as he got the three things, he's got the whole boat.
They must have had a tugboat or something for pulling it. This is a hell of a shot.
But they would have had to keep the line in the water to make it look like
Yeah.
the shark was in the water. It would be interesting to see how they did that.
And now the shark's just taunting him. Like, I'm still here. Is that the best you can do? That was an interesting shot when he put the machete in the deck of the ship. It was so calm, but yet around it the ocean's wavy.
Yeah. And under it goes. Slasher Friend talking. It's too bad they don't use many horror movies that use the POV of the villain. There's actually one that did not that long ago. What was the name of that movie? Deleted.
In a Violent Nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much a film where it's the killer's POV until it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank Christ. No. See, here's where it's like he undoes his own work by
Yeah.
he's trying to prove he's got it under control, but he makes it all go. That's a great gif. They have him doing the head bob thing.
To you, fair
Spanish
lady.
ladies.
Farewell to you, ladies of Spain.
You wonder if there's any point that Quint knew he effed up. Great look on his face right there. He knows what he has to do. And he doesn't want to do it. And I don't blame him.
Well,
Nope.
you did it. You
Yeah, he
you
did
forced
it.
the show. So yeah.
Yeah, you got any better ideas?
Hey, remember when you drove that truck full of nitroglycerin across that rope bridge? It's kind of like that. Anyway.
What movie are you referencing there?
Sorcerer.
Oh,
which
I
think
never
was a
saw
couple years
Sorcerer.
later.
I was wondering if
it's,
that's what it.
yeah, it's a remake of Wages of Fear. William Friedkin again directing that one.
I
And then
remember the film.
Netflix did like a version, and then I heard it wasn't that good.
I remember seeing the name of the movie out when it was out, but then I found out it wasn't about like wizards, so I lost interest.
Oh, yeah, no, not about wizards at all.
Yeah,
That's a
when they
funny
like
story.
Sorcerer, you want it, you want like a
You
wizard
want
in
to see
it.
wizards? Yeah. And again, another movie that I saw when I was very young. So I didn't. It was all kind of over my head. And but I was kind of an insomniac, especially when I was younger. So I would get up sometimes very early, 4 or 5 in the morning, and there'd be nobody around, so I would put on TV, and that's how I saw Alien the first time, and
Mhm.
one night Sorcerer was on, and started watching it, and my mother comes in, says, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "I don't know. What's it about?" "I don't know.
Mhm.
But whoever this Costa Rica guy is, he's in really big trouble." I didn't know it was a country. I thought they were talking about a guy. I didn't know. I had no clue. I didn't know. I was 5. I didn't know. The political unrest in Central America wasn't something I was aware of at that particular point in time. And then you get to all this stuff with Roy Scheider and him, the French guy, having to drive the trucks in, and okay, that I understand, but the rest I had no idea. So anyway, Richard Dreyfuss is gonna kill a shark.
Here's where his mistake was:
he
stuck that on the outside with his hand on the outside. I would have gotten myself situated while that thing was still inside with me. And I would have had like a lanyard on it or something so it would stay attached.
At least it shows the bottom's not that deep where they're at.
No, they're close. They're close to shore. They were heading in.
I'm amazed at this point that no one can see them. Actually.
And no one go, what?
That would have been a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, if he had it.
Yeah.
Die.
Yeah.
Actually, in most situations, if you punch a shark, it will leave you alone.
Yeah.
Because they realize, oh, wait, you're not food. Yeah, a shark usually does not like attack because he just feels like killing something. He's hungry.
A lot of the bite shark attacks we get are investigatory. They're investigating it. This shark test something. They not test it with their mouth.
Look out.
Well, yeah, I mean, orangutans are the same way. When they're checking something, they use their mouth a lot. It's just something in their DNA.
Hello.
Aerial attack.
I am ready for my close-up now, Mr. DeMille.
Mr. Spielberg.
Mr. Spielberg.
Nom, 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 nom. You're the one who kept shooting me. Ugh.
PG movie, folks.
Yep.
Quint's he's putting up a fight. He's stabbing it.
Yeah, he's not going gently.
Bye, Mr. Quint.
Like it, lock the door. Whoa. A man who does not like water is just in it the worst way he could possibly be. I love the water bottles that they've got out that you can buy with the shark with the O2 tank. They do have some really good merch out. I'm glad they re-put out the game too. They use a little fishing rod to get stuff out of the shark's mouth before it closes.
Well, yeah. I had that. I miss board games. I miss games like Jaws. I miss Mousetrap. You know,
Oh, I do too.
I
Sorry,
wish I still had that stuff. Yeah.
Parcheesi,
Shoots and Ladders.
Monopoly.
Stop Thief, the thing that had the little remote. You know, dun, 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 you know. It's true.
Or I always wanted, you know what
miss-
game I always wanted to play but never did was Risk. I think I played kind of a truncated rules version. Like it didn't take that long.
Yeah.
Now I was a D&D player, so I did play D&D a lot. Dun, 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 dun. Wait for your shot. Boom!
Steven Spielberg uses a recording from the movie The Duel. Remember The Duel when the trucks? He puts that in here. Like you hear that roar as the shark sinking to the bottom of the sea. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. He's alive.
That's a good thing he had that oxygen tank.
That's the part of what Cinema Wednesday go, hey, Hooper's alive.
Yes.
I like that sense of relief he got.
There's an Easter egg in the sequel where they're at Chief Brody's house, and one of the barrels is used as a planter in the front of his house.
I'll have to look for that when I watch it in a couple weeks.
Yeah. You'll see a yellow planter that is one of the barrels that he used to get back into shore.
And that is Jaws. 50 years of sharky goodness. This was my gateway drug into animal attack films.
Yeah.
Because of this, we got Piranha, Grizzly, Alligator, all kinds of films like that.
Multiple films that have sharks and great whites in them.
Moray Eel, if you watch another Peter Benchley pen novel made into a film called The Deep.
Yep.
With Jacqueline Bisset.
Mm-hmm.
Lee
Good to see you,
Fierro.
Lady Miss.
I still think Lee Fierro, Mrs. Kittner, her scene in this film is my favorite. When she is just letting that grief out. I think that is that's one of my favorite powerful scenes of all time. I love scenes like that. And that is it. Is it going to restart again? Did it restart again? It said it restarted. I don't know. Yep, there you go. But that's it. go ahead and leave that. So, Outlaw Bill, what you got coming up in the next few days?
We probably should get some karaoke tomorrow night. And then I'll probably hit up Deleted's little birthday party celebration tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And Western Cinema, Cowboys and Aliens, starring Daniel Craig and Harrison Ford.
I have never seen that.
We've been
came out during a bad period for me. There was a lot of films I didn't get a chance to see. Okay, and deleted scenes once again. Everybody in chat could give him a happy birthday one last time. I'm sure he would appreciate it. But deleted, what you got coming up?
All right. So let's see. Saturday, 6:30 Eastern will be the big birthday bash. Not only celebrating that, also celebrating 5K subs, and also celebrating my 30-year anniversary on YouTube, which was recently as well. So,
wow, congratulations! 5K, good God!
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even broke 1,000.
You're getting there.
That's slow. I'm not. I don't do the big push like a lot of people do. This is more for socializing for me. I'm not in it for. I'm in it to meet people, make friends, and watch cool movies.
Yeah, like we just did.
Very
cool classic.
And got some more. I think you got. Let's before I go into me, let's go and delete it and get your week underway.
Okay. And as Bill said, I'm going to be joining him, of course, for Western Cinema. And we are going to be watching Cowboys versus Aliens. And later that night, Unscripted, episode 112, which is my best of the year so far, where I'm going to be talking about the best movies that I've seen so far this year, in my opinion. And I'm also going to be going a little bit into my rating system and why I choose to change it.
I'm sure you'll be mentioning Life of Chuck, I'm assuming?
I will, yes. And also later on that night, Reserved Seats, episode 13. I'm going to be joined by Sin's Corner and Corey of Wilkie's Movies and Music. And I'm sure
it took me 3 days to recover from that. I hope you know.
What the
last week when I was on Reserve Seats, it took me 3 days to really shake it off.
Wow, I wasn't that bad, was I?
No. I mean, it was fine. I'm just saying, 3 days later, I was still like, oh God, taking naps and everything to go like this. Because Monday morning I still woke up at the same time I usually do, so I didn't get that 3 to 4 hours of sleep that I usually do extra that I did that night. I just thought it was funny. I thought
All right, so let's see. Gets us on over to Monday, which is Mystery Movie Night. So Tuesday will be the Mystery Movie Night podcast at 7 p.m. to find out what the movie is and what we thought about it. Right after that, 8:30, will be live from Sparkwood and 21 where Troy, Netter, and Boomer are going to join me, and we're going to finish up our deep dive into Mulholland Drive. Last week we watched a movie, and this week we're going to go into our theories about what the heck it all meant. So, yeah, and let's see. And of course, brings us on over Thursday. Of course, Action Theater, where Bill and I are still in the middle of Bond month, and we're going to be watching the second Timothy Dalton Bond, License to Kill.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool. So a great week ahead. Like I said, tune in, watch some cool movies with these guys. Speaking of cool movies, join me tomorrow night on Netter's Network. We're going to be watching The Freshman on Netter's Retro Cinema. The next thing I have scheduled is next Saturday night. Going to be watching what is perhaps one of the great politically incorrect movies of all time, Zorro the Gay Blade, to conclude George Hamilton June. That'll be a lot of fun, irreverent humor, and if you have a problem with that kind of stuff, don't show up, because it's just a lot of fun to when comedy could, everybody was a target, and just had a good old time. Until then, just tune into my channel to check out my my latest reviews. I've got let me go to my channel here so I'm remember what I've got down.
I know you have Echo Valley up.
I got Echo Valley up. I got How to Train Your Dragon. The twofer, I watched the animated and the new live action, both within like 24 hours of each other. Fear Below, which is an Australian film. Mountain Head. Tell you right now, don't even worry about that film. Just skip it. And of course, the big films that are still around: Ballerina, Life of Chuck, The Phoenician Scheme, and Lilo and Stitch, Mission Impossible. Got all the big movies from the last month. You can see what I want. Echo Valley. I haven't heard what you thought of that.
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it yet? Oh, okay.
Give it a look. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I would have by now, but I haven't gotten to it. But
that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, Life of Chuck, guys. Please,
Life of Chuck.
Please go see Life of Chuck.
Go see
Outstanding
Life
movie.
of Chuck.
I'm going to be talking about it on my best of. So
yeah, it is definitely up there for me. I've got two tops of the year so far, which is Life of Chuck and Sinners. Those are my two best movies of the year so far. So yeah, Life of Chuck though, definitely. As far as emotional, that film will get you.
It will. Yeah.
Pay attention. Go with it. It makes sense. Trust me. And How to Train Your Dragon is a cute film too. I mean, I really, really did enjoy it. If you want to see a live action film that respects the original, there you go. That one does do it. Also, at 10 o'clock tonight, tune in to Troy Pacelli for Last Call with Troy Pacelli. They're going to be talking about the great movies from the wonderful year 1985. So 10 years after Jaws, find out what was big in the movies on Last Call tonight. Of course, Troy's got his daily show at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. Liquid Lunch, which is a fun show to read. But yeah, just look down at the bottom, see all my friends, check out all those pages. You might definitely find something you like. Any final words, Alma Bill?
No. Thank you for having me and playing a wonderful, great movie.
I'm glad you could join us. Of course, you'll probably be joining us a couple times at least next year, or no, 3 times next year. We got 3 Friday the 13th
Oh.
in 2026. So definitely then. But you never know. We might come up with a movie where we'll bring Bill in if he's a big fan, of course. Just let if you ever see something we're doing and you really want to come in,
Yeah.
just let Deleted Scenes or myself know, and I have no problem with it.
Okay.
So take care, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for joining in this little celebration of one of my favorite films, the film that redefined how films are done, as far as releasing, at least the way they used to be released. Those big summer blockbusters, the quintessential summer blockbuster, as I like saying, my little play on the word there. Take care. God bless you all. Like I said, you guys can't do it as good as Netter, but you guys are not just friends, you're family. Love having you join us to watch some stuff. Stay tuned for some good stuff coming up the rest of this month and next month. Next month, we are taking Deleted Scenes, Tucker and Dale virginity. He's finally going to watch that.
I think I should be there for that one.
You want to come? You're invited. Drop on by.
I love that.
So yeah, Tucker and Dale definitely. I think it's the only one I've got planned. So we've got to figure out something to do maybe before then. But you know what? It's been a long night. Take care, everyone. God bless you. And once again, raise a toast to Deleted Scenes and wishing him a happy birthday. God bless you all. Thank you.